Well, with another weekend of rain and possible floods ahead, it's a pretty poor start to the holiday season in Britain, and there could be more to come. Tomorrow is St Swithin's Day, and the old saying predicts that if it's rain on that day, it will rain for the next 40 days, so there goes the summer. But the new Prime Minister insists he's staying at home for his holes, and it seems more of us are doing the same. We spent more than £37 billion going on holiday in the UK last year. One of our favourite destinations is Blackpool, both for the beach and all the fun of the fair. Brighton Pier down on the south coast is not far behind. And according to Britain's tourist agency, caravan lovers are wending their way to the Lake District in increasing numbers. And visitor numbers to Liverpool, would you believe, have doubled over the past 5 years, partly thanks to the legacy of the Beatles. But it's the beautiful beaches of England's southwest that are the greatest draw. More than 20 million of us took our bucket and spade to the water's edge there. So what's behind this apparent trend? And does it mean that we're all foregoing our holidays abroad? Joining us from Weymouth in Dorset is Kate Weller, who's the local councillor who's responsible for tourism at the resort. And here in the studio is Ian McCaig, the Chief Operating Officer of the travel website lastminute.com. Welcome to you both. Kate, let's start with you. I am sure that Weymouth is absolutely lovely, but the chances of 10 hours of sunshine, some cheap beer and a bit of grilled calamari, not that great really.
Well, over 200 years ago, King George III came here, and people have been flocking here ever since. So I think people do think it's great.
No, but I doubt whether he got 10 hours sunshine, cheap beer and a nice bit of grilled calamari either.
Well, we do have some tremendous restaurants here in Weymouth, both middle range and top restaurants that would vie with anywhere in the world. We also, of course, are a World Natural Heritage Site here, and that's the only one in England. So we have a lot to offer. Our beach is consistently grade A in beach resorts in the surveys, and of course we have what's regarded as one of the safest areas for sea sports, particularly for young children here. But of course we have all the sailing events as well.
Just briefly, are your visitor numbers up?
They certainly are. We take records of these every year, and we're not seeing any appreciable change despite the bad weather we've had over the last month or so. Early in the season we had absolutely tremendous weather, and we're hoping that it's going to pick up again. We're particularly fortunate here in Weymouth. We're surrounded by quite high hills, and that keeps us very well protected. So I would say to people that when the forecast is bad, check the Weymouth website, because very often it's better here.
Good job, Kate. Thank you. Ian McCaig, are we turning our back on Greece and Spain?
Morning, Chris. There are two fundamental things going on here that we can see through the bookings that come through lastminute.com. The first one is that the UK did extraordinarily well with early bookings, and we saw some very significant increases of the order that you mentioned from an early booking point of view.
The weather was nice a couple of months ago.
And also before that as well, even going back further than that, from the kind of euphoria of the summer last year, we certainly saw a great deal of enthusiasm. And through the kind of resorts that you've mentioned, you know, the great British beach resort and a lot of the other attractions that are very successful in the UK, since the weather changed really through June, but predominantly through the last few weeks, there has been a shift. So whilst the UK did very well from the early booking cycle, I think as we move into later bookings, we're clearly seeing Greece, Turkey, Egypt really ramping up to the tune of, 25% a week.
I'm so sorry, we're really short of time. Is there a green factor at all? Are people being environmentally conscious about the holidays?
That flows through people's choices, through all their consumer behaviour at the moment. So that's an underlying factor, but we don't see it affecting the choice of a more local holiday or a further afield holiday, because, for example, on lastminute.com you can offset your carbon on your flights anyway.
Your second plug for it. Right.
I came a long way to be with you this morning, Chris, so I get to have two.
Ian, I'm so sorry we're short of time, but thanks for your insight into it all.